This whole manifesting thing becomes so much easier when you understand this. It's not about manifesting the thing, the job, the money, whatever you're trying to create, right? It's not about the object, the person, the thing. What you're really manifesting is the state. And the state already includes what you want. It is a byproduct of the state. When you understand that, it makes a whole complete difference. Because what I see, and the reason why a lot of people are struggling with manifesting and so on, and the reason they can only get little things but not really the big shift, the big transformation, is because they're chasing after someone, something, sometimes some object, some job, something that will, when they get it, change their state. Because understand this, we all want what we want because of how it's going to make us feel, right? The subconscious desire, the subconscious projection is that when I get that thing or that job or that money or that big sale or whatever the thing that you want, it's going to make you feel a certain way, meaning it's going to change your state from this to something that we consider better. And when you make this whole manifesting process and you understand that it's all about living in that state, embodying that new state, and that everything becomes a byproduct of the state because it's who you are. So in the new state, where you feel free, where you feel confident, when you feel alive, when you feel like a joy for life or whatever, what you are naturally generating, creating, attracting in your life comes from that state. So because you have changed the state, because you have changed your state of consciousness, the way you think, who you are, it's only natural that things around you start to reflect that. Life is an echo. It's echoing who you are back to you. So if you are focused on the thing, the outcome, the thing that you want to create and manifest, what a lot of people end up doing is that they end up chasing the thing. They end up being needy. They end up being obsessive and controlling and anxious and overthinking and reading all the things and watching all the videos on how can I manifest it and get my SP to text me and all that crap. What is the state they're living in when they do that? When they're so dependent on the thing, when they put so much importance on that external thing that they want to bring in their life, what is the state that they're living in? And this is really worth considering, pausing, and really reflecting on. Because if your state is the same old state that brought you where you are in your life right now, you have to understand that that state can only keep you on the same level. And that's not good, bad, right, or wrong. The only question is this working for me? So if you want to go to the next level in your life, whatever that means for you, whatever that looks like for you, your state needs to reflect that first. And again, what a lot of people do is that they're too obsessed on what they're gonna get, they forget what they're giving, right? And we are always giving. Life is a constant and never-ending giving and receiving, and giving always comes first. Now you're like, how do I give, right? You give with your thoughts, you give with your attitude, you give with your energy. When you're overthinking, stressing, trying to control, micromanage everything and how it should happen and so on, that's also giving. You're always living in a state, and that state always manifests itself with the byproduct, with the experiences, with the things you attract, with the things that you are perpetuating, creating in your life. So the big takeaway is this: life gives you desire because it gives you a pathway for expansion, right? When you want more money, when you want a beautiful relationship, when you want those type of things, this is life showing you, okay, this is what expansion look like in your life, because this is the feeling you're gonna get. For example, when I used to work with a client not too long ago who really wanted a loving relationship, what that person really wanted was not so much a relationship, although that was like definitely a desire, but it's the feeling. I want to feel connected. I want to feel alive. I want to feel in love. And when I ask her, well, in your life right now, are you living in that state? Meaning, are you feeling alive? Are you feeling connected? Are you feeling in love with life right now? And very simply, she could feel the disconnect between the state she was living in the lack and in the scarcity and in the envy and all of these type of, emotions. The disconnect was that there was a stagnation in her life. She wasn't feeling alive in her life. So her mind was simply projecting, well, if I get that boyfriend and that perfect relationship like on Instagram, well, I'm going to feel alive and I'm going to post the photos and everything's going to be okay. So that's the projection that we have. But where we miss the point is that what we really want to feel is alive. We really want to feel connected. We want to feel that love for life. And the byproduct of the state, when you feel that now, is that you naturally attract people, romantic relationship. The thing that you actually want becomes a trade-off because you are already in love in life, you're already alive, you already feel that thing now. It's who you are. So what echoes back to you is a manifestation of the state. I'll give you an example in my own personal life. When I was chasing client and success and money and trying to grow my, my business and so on, what I was really chasing was to feel worthy, was to feel good, right? Was to feel that feeling that I'm important and everything is okay and I'm good enough. That was the trade-off I was really after, right? And everything was just in order to bring that feeling to me. And when I really understood that, I understood also why I was stagnating, why everything was an uphill battle, why I was seeking external approval so much, because I was still living in a state of someone who was trying to prove himself, or someone who was struggling, someone who was longing, someone who was like really, really, really trying hard. And so what I was getting is still that. So the journey, closing the gap, bridging, getting to that place, was about embodying the state now, manifesting the state where I feel seen, where I feel loved, when I feel enough, when I feel worthy now, regardless of the job, regardless of the money, regardless of the situation, regardless of the economy, regardless of who's president, regardless of your partner or this or that, regardless of how your parent treated you when you were 2 years old, regardless of all of that noise, here and now, can I embody that state? Can I manifest that state? And if you do that, and it becomes who you are, you'll naturally create the situation that represent that state. And that's really what manifesting is about. When you manifest the state, everything becomes a byproduct of the state. So ask yourself, look at your desire, look at the thing that you really want to create right now. Ask yourself, how would I feel? What would it do for me if I already have it? What state would I be living in? What would I believe about myself? Who would I be? How would I feel? Like, how would I be different now compared to 5 minutes ago when I was still chasing, longing, wanting that state? And if you can close the gap over and over and over again, I guarantee you, you will see amazing results in your life, because that is the biggest difference that made a massive difference in my life. When I stopped chasing the outcome and I started creating and focusing on being, living in a state. When I changed the metric, measuring the success, the amount, the money, the this and that, and I started measuring how am I feeling, that's when things started to change. So I hope you really understand that. I hope you dig that. So I hope you really understand that, guys. Let me know what you think down in the comment. Hit that subscribe button. I'll see you next time. Be well.